before I do that. I'm going to give a huge shout out. We have, if I missed anybody, I apologize, but we have several of our teammates that are in the top 100 in the entire country. So that's not just EFIS, that is everything in Equita. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, give me a call. I'll walk you through kind of the steps and what that involves. But I'm going to go from the bottom up, if you will. We got Mr. Cody Wetzel, that is number 79 in the country. And I know we normally wait and do this in the numbers, but I don't think you guys realize how many people, how many literally thousands of people that are here. So to crack the top 100 for the month is pretty exciting. Of course, this will be posted on Slack as well. But we got Mr. Cody Wetzel at 1424 issue paid so far for the month, 79th in the country. I'm not even going to try to say Ash's last name, but we got Ash here. That's with Colton Kelly. He's number 57 in the country, $2,063 issued so far for the month. We got Mr. Charles Showman, and he and his wife are actually building a huge organization. Charles is still out in the field, 2110 to crack the top 60 in the country, or excuse me, top 50. And then we got Mr. ETE himself, Edward Mendez, number 2 in the country, has already issued $12,508 so far for the month. So that being said, everybody has an opportunity to hit the leaderboard. And I just want to give a huge shout out to those guys. So before we go through anything else, what we're going to do is have Mark go through. We're going to kind of flip the script a little bit from what we used to do. We're going to let Mark do the training. And then any of you guys that want to stay on and hear the announcements and anything like that, we'll go from there. So anybody on leadership have anything to share before people start to jump off and everything as we start to kind of mold ourselves together as a team? Anything at all? All right, Mark, do I need to give you any permission for anything, or are you good to go?
I'm sorry. I'm just going to speak, Corey, so I don't need video or anything like that. So.
All right. Well, guys, this is Mark Williams, part of our team. Obviously made the transition over, does a fantastic job. Mark did a ton of travel trips and stuff last year. Not to put him out there, but as public knowledge, wrote well over $200,000 last year, primarily doing travel trips. So we have a great opportunity here to be able to do that. As more of you guys start to get into the lead center, you'll start to see the leads that are out there. I'll do a quick video on that here probably over the weekend, to try to train where to go to find your leads in the lead center. And we'll go from there. So with that ado, Mr. Mark Williams, the great one, how to set up a travel trip.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I recognize a lot of the names here, but those that I don't, glad to meet you through Zoom. Excited about the opportunity we have here. It's just amazing, the system that's in place here. So what I'm going to talk about today fits perfectly into the system we now have. So let's start with a travel trip. My definition is that's an overnight trip for business, right? So sometimes we drive 3 or 4 hours in one day and come back and sleep in our own bed. That, to me, that's not a travel trip. So just to set the definition and the mindset of the way I look at it is an overnight trip to run leads. So, you know, and what drives it, guys, it's not, you know, I like to travel. My wife and I are empty nesters. Our 3 kids are in college and have jobs and stuff. So traveling is fun for us personally, but on the business side, it was out of necessity last year. Did real well early on working local leads. As the leads thin out, or if you're in a rural area like me, there's just not as many leads based on population, right? So I just started looking further out, 3 and 4 hour driving trips to see where the leads were, and I went to where the leads were. You know, you can't sometimes pull them out of thin air, so you just go where they're at. Same situation we're at now with FES. The leads are there in the system, or obviously we can order lead drops, but a lot of us right now are waiting on lead drops to hit. So instead of sitting and twiddling your thumbs or working a small amount of leads, just jump into the lead center and see what's out there a little further out, and you know, kind of chase the leads. That's what I do. That's what I did last year, and it works real well. So that's that. That's why you do it. You know, the system we're in, once the leads start dropping, you'll have a lot of local leads, but to fill in the gaps, and maybe even just 1 or 2 days a week, if you can get out and do an overnighter, you're going to be surprised with the success. So, okay. So just like anything we do, we want to plan for it, right? So first step goes back to leads. You want to make sure there's enough leads in the hopper to make the trip productive and profitable. Now with fresh direct mail leads, obviously we know we don't need as many. You can get by with 20 or 25 or 30 a week and have a fantastic week. You can knock those out on a travel trip in 2 or 3 days. I prefer to always have 8, 10, 12 appointments in a day, just boom, 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 one to the next. And another advantage we're going to have here now is we have appointment setters to help you with that, guys, because you could literally be on a 2 or 3 day trip and have an appointment setter working for you the next day where you're out selling that day. Guys, that is a huge asset. I was fortunate to have a fantastic appointment setter last year. I don't know if Crystal's on right now. She's now an agent. But anyway, I was able to actually have a dispatcher back, my home office where I could call in and say, hey, these 2 canceled. Can you fill me in? That sort of thing. So I had an advantage there for same day appointments, but it's always nice to have the appointment setting option. And we have that here at FES. So it's fantastic. So just kind of the structure of things, again, planning, you want to make sure you have enough leads so that when you're out there, you can get those 8 to 10 appointments a day. 2, I like to pick an area and hit it repeatedly. So I'm kind of tight with my money. So when I buy a lead, I make sure I get every bit of productivity out of those leads that I buy. So I stockpile them. So if I work an area 1 week on a travel trip, and obviously I'm not going to see all the leads. I don't toss those leads. I buy more, put them on top of them, and just keep on churning those leads until we get the maximum productivity out of those leads. So always be looking ahead when leads pop up. Make sure that you're filling that hopper, even if the trip's not going to be for 3 or 4 weeks. Jump on those leads, get them in the system. Have your manager do that. You can still watch the leads if someone else is providing your leads, and just kind of let them know where you're going to be. And you really need to communicate that to your manager on what you're going to do. So when I travel, I try to stay within a budget, a daily budget. So, you're going to have a hotel room, you're going to have meals. I personally would never go out to lunch. To me, that's just wasted time that I could be spending in front of clients. So I'd bring a little something with me, and then kind of reward myself with a nice dinner at the end of the day, even if it was 9 or 10 o'clock at night. That's how I just personally prefer to do things. When I would choose a hotel, I would make sure that it has, a desk in the room. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for some of the extras, like having a printer, a business center in the hotel. That's a big deal. I like printed leads. I don't like going off of my phone or tablet with digital documents. I prefer something in my hand. I can show the client. Usually on day 1, you've got those, but if you've got appointment setters setting you 2 and 3 days out, you're not going to have those printed leads unless you printed every single one you've got and brought them with you. So just think about stuff like that. I like to stay in a hotel that has a restaurant attached to it. So I know that when I roll in at 8 o'clock at night, whatever, I can still grab a good meal, get to bed. I don't like to waste a lot of time driving all over town looking for somewhere, that sort of thing. So that's just my style. So I set a daily budget of about $200. It sounds like a lot, but guys, I go into these trips with the expectation I'm going to make at least $2,000 or $3,000 a day. If you don't have that mindset, you're out there running scared. You get 7 appointments into a 10 appointment day and you haven't sold anything and you're sweating it, you get off your game. So just go in like we do on our calls. You expect the sale, you expect to keep on moving forward, and you're very assumptive. I'm very assumptive on my trips. I have a number in my head based on the number of days I'm running, what kind of production I'm planning on doing, and I work until I hit that number. If I don't, I'm running Friday to catch up with that. Okay. Let's see. We talked about hotel budget, leads, stockpiling your leads. That's a big thing. And let's see. I personally haven't done any flights for my trips. I would, if I saw an area that I would like to go, especially in the wintertime. I live in Missouri, and when it gets cold here, I'm going to be looking at the Gulf Coast for some areas to work for a week or 2 at a time, probably. So I might fly to those, but normally, man, I can just stay in my car, have my little office set up in my car, all appointments in a little folder, and just keep it real simple. And you'll find when you're on a road trip or travel trip that you're very focused. You don't get a lot of those distractions. again, I'm fortunate. I'm of the age where my kids are out of the house, so I can really focus on work. I think my wife enjoys her quiet time when I'm gone a day or two, but she's always glad to see me when I get back. But really, it's just a really good system. I just kind of figured it out last year on my own. Nobody showed me how to do it, or I just kind of figured, hey, here's the leads. I'm going to go here. Um, they were all 3 and 4 hour day trips, so I wasn't spending thousands of dollars on planes and rental cars and that sort of thing. I just kept it simple. And every road trip I ever had, I made 5 to 10 times what I spent every time. No doubt about it. All right. I kind of hit all the bullet points. Any questions?
It's good stuff, Mark. And I know a lot of times you had your bigger weeks when you were traveling. Like you said, you're out there, you're focused, you're working, you don't have the distractions from home and, the dogs, the kids, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. Mark, thank you. Much appreciated. Guys, do you have any questions before we start to go through numbers? So one of the things that we're going to start to do here, probably, I'm going to say 6 months, it'll be a short period of time than that, is our next level trainers are going to get ready to get fired back up. And we're going to start doing travel trips or Ardmores or whatever you want to call them. There's going to be one here in St. Louis for those of you guys that like to attend. There might be some leads left over, but if nothing else, there's going to be training for Medicare and also FE training every single morning, Monday through Friday, the week of July 18th to the 24th. So you can get yourself here, be square. If you haven't needed any information about that, let us know. And Holden Haskell is actually the one that's hosting that and putting that on. So as Tim would say, I'm looking forward to wrap my arms around him and getting to meet that guy in person as well. So moving forward from there, we'll go ahead and do the numbers if nobody has any questions. Mark, thanks again. It's kind of our first one as a new group here, Genesis Worldwide. So you kind of broke the glass ceiling here as we get ready to start growing and moving forward.
Fitz has got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Gregory.
I'm driving, so it took me a little time to get.
No, we got you. We can see it.
Just want to say, another great training from Mark.
Thanks, Tim.
I've never been on an individual travel trip, but with my past company, the first company that I worked with, we did what we call Ardmores and agent development programs and all of that stuff like that. And those were great because, like you said, you don't have the distractions of home. We don't want to say they're distractions because it's our family, but you do have distractions. And you will work later because you don't have to worry about going to pick up the kids or feeding the dog or you help. So I really like to remind you of that, Mark, so that that's one thing we can put in our repertoire to go out there and be productive. If you've had a terrible month or something like that, put together one of those. I'm an Ardmore, Corey. Put together one of them Ardmores and go out there. Go somewhere that you've never been before. Go out there and do that and produce 10, 12,000 in a week, and you'll be like, and it'll help you as well while when you come back to your regular community, because you've gone out there and you've had to think on your feet. You've had to figure it out. You couldn't just go home. You had to do it. So it'll help you be a stronger agent and producer when you come back home. So thanks for those, for those couple.
Yeah, no, thanks for saying that. And Cody, good to see you, dude. I've been trying to get on the virtual, but hey. But it was likely what Ben was talking about today, kind of trusting the process. If you guys have never done an Ardmore or an ADP or whatever you call them, we all have experiences every place. I'm telling you, it's worth the time. You're going to make 5 to 7 times the income. Usually that's what happens because you are structured. So good stuff. Mark, thanks again. Much appreciated. Your expertise there. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and put the numbers on the screen, and then we'll get this thing rock and roll and get you guys about your day. So trying to keep this to an hour with even with the FES meeting. So I think we're going to be in good shape, and I really appreciate it. It's great to see that there's 20 plus people in here too. So these will continue to get better. Trust me. All right. Cody, I don't know if you know this or not, but you're 79th in the country, dude, right now. And I know how you work. I know that's just going to continue to move up. So, all right, here we go. Let me get that out of the way here. So give us a year, give you a career. You guys will see us post this on a continual basis. Just so you guys know what the meeting schedule is now that we're starting to get a little bit more, the concrete's trying to drying around our feet a little bit. Obviously, every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30 Central Time. Mr. Ben Bowman and Chase Ulrich put that meeting on, which I think the training is absolutely fantastic. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm telling you guys, there's times in those meetings where I've taken a half a page, page and a half of notes, just the stuff that Ben's talking about. You might not like what he says, but you can't argue with it because he hits you in the mouth with it, and it's only to get you better. Trust me. Tim and I talk to him all the time and have our little beef back and forth, but the guy knows what he's talking about. That is for sure. Monday night, Holden Haskell, who is probably has one of the biggest hearts and most giving people that I've met in this business, puts on a training Monday night. Any final expense questions or things like that you have, just training stuff, maybe things you don't want to ask in a setting like this because you feel silly, you can ask on there. I jump on most of them. I know a lot of leadership does as well. But if you're really trying to get better, as Ben was mentioning today, it's a great call for you to be on. And you never know what you're going to pick up and learn, which will change your career. Holden, again, speaking of him giving, on Wednesday does a Medicare call. If you are interested in Medicare at all, send me a Slack message. All you have to do is put Medicare in there. And I will get you hooked up with Holden. He is a master. I'd say he's probably better at Medicare than he is at FE. And he's pretty darn good at final expense as well. If you're interested in learning about Medicare, he does trainings every single week. I know I've been on several of them. I know I've seen some of you guys on there as well. He's a wealth of knowledge. Renee Barker, our #1 agent and getting ready to be partner here soon. Renee just wrote her first Medicare business earlier this week with the help of Holden. So if you guys are interested in Medicare, let us know. We're happy to get you set up. And then, of course, today, very thankful you guys hopped on this morning. We will do this every Friday just to keep everybody on our team abreast of what's going on with numbers and making sure that you guys don't miss anything. As you guys can see, I'm a little bit nutty on Slack, but I want to make sure everybody knows what's going on, keeping you guys abreast of numbers and those kind of things. That's what we've promised you guys we would do to support you guys as leadership, and that's what we'll continue to do. So one of my favorite parts is the numbers. As our numbers continue to get bigger every single week, we have a string program. So some of you guys that were part of the other organization know what we do with that. Got several people that have some past awards. I was trying to meet with you face-to-face to give them to you, but we'll continue to do that. So if I butcher your name, I apologize, but I love giving the recognition. So we got Mr. Josh Dutton, that is 2 weeks in a row. Ed Marin, 2 weeks in a row. Robert Golden, 2 weeks in a row. Is actually on vacation with his family. I think his daughter has a sporting event. Michael Gruder has been here 2 weeks, has written his first 2 weeks. Michael Salazar, been here 2 weeks, has written 2 weeks. Mr. Colton Kelly, 3 weeks in a row. Terry Durr, 3 weeks in a row. Cody Wetzel, number 79 in the country and just getting started, 3 weeks in a row. Charles Schulman, 4 weeks in a row. Andrew Ramon, the birthday boy a few days ago, 4 weeks in a row that he's protected families. And Mr. ETE, number 2 in the entire United States, 5 weeks in a row that he's protected a family. And what can we say? The boss, as Gregory Pitts calls her, Renee Barker, 63 weeks in a row that she's protected families. Even in the transition, she did it. So this is one of our biggest numbers ever. I believe the most we've ever had was 12 or 13. And I guarantee you that number will go up here in the next couple of weeks. So congratulations to all of you guys that have continued to tack your string together and help at least one family throughout the week. In reference to our numbers, okay, this thing's gonna start acting weird. There we go. Numbers last week, again, love the recognition here. Colton Kelly, 390. Terry there at 496. Anna Martin, 747. Walter Phillips, 938. Brandon Knipp, 985, protecting a family. You got Miss Vanessa, let's see, with 1,033. Alex, 1,042. There he is again. Andrew Ramon at 1,050. Cameron Lucas, $1,117. Josh Dutton continues his string, $2,351, and 3 families help. Awesome there, Josh. Got Edward Marin with his continued streak at $2,382, 2 family protected. Michael Salazar having his big week so far in week number 2, $2,406, 2 families protected. Mr. ATL, Mr. Gwinnett County, Gregory Pitts, $2,654 with 3 families protected. Mr. Greeter here, right here in the STL, $3,018, 2 families protected. Top 100, 79th in the country, Cody Wetzel, $3,063, 3 families protected last week. Mr. Edward Mendez, number 2 in the country, already issue paid, $12,508 so far for the month. Gonna have a huge month there, ETE, $3,612 there. We got Pablo Gomez, $3,759, 2 families protected. Robert Golden has come and taken this thing by storm. It's on ETE's team and representing $3,792, 4 families protected. The boss, Renee, $3,801 with 3 families protected. Mr. Charles Matthews, representing the D out there in Michigan, $3,890 with 6 families protected. And Charles Schulman, $4,966, 7 families protected. last week. That brings our total to 47,492, just slightly under last week with 50 total families protected. Our top 5 agents so far for the week, with the weekend coming up: Mr. Ryan Valet, 1850, 2 families protected. Michael Salazar, as I mentioned, in his second week, $2,107. So he's got a string of $2,000 weeks going with 3 families protected. We got the Sofa Man, Jordan Sofa, $2,476 with 2 families protected. Cody Wetzel, Mr. Virtual, and still out getting out in the field. Huge day last night, helping a couple families with mortgage protection, $3,360, 2 families protected. And E to the T to the E, Everett Mendez, $4,318, 5 total families protected. Those are our top 5 for the week so far. For those of you guys that are not aware, I don't know if you're living under a rock, but I don't know how you couldn't. If you don't know, we are giving a trip away to beautiful Cancun. Very excited to do this. Our leadership and I are pulling our money together to put this trip together. So the next time you see one of your leadership people on Slack, pat them on the back, tell them thank you. This program, very quickly, we'll let you guys get about your day. 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive resort. The contest, I'm going to go from the bottom up here. Contest is from July 1st to 9/30 of obviously this year. Must have 40 families protected. So that's an average of 3 a week, which is not hard to do. The highest number of families protected wins. It's very simple. If we have the same number, like Ty, let's say both 2 people are at 45, then we'll go back and total up the production from July 1st all the way to the end of September 30th. I'm asking you guys as best we possibly can. Cody, you did a good job of putting mortgage protection on there last night, so that made it very clear. That particular sale doesn't count for the contest because this is final expense only. That's our focus as we're building our business. And you must post it on the day that you made the sale, and that's it. So that's the contest. In reference to that, we have 11 people here. I won't read all of them off, but you guys can see we'll just go with the top 5. We got Cameron Lucas has protected a family. We got Michael Salazar and everybody all the way up. Michael, Pablo, Charles, and then of course, Cody sitting at the top of the pile with 3 families protected. So does anybody have any questions before we let you guys get about your weekend? All right. We appreciate you guys being on. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your transition. If there's anything that we can do for you guys, please let us know. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend and bye for now.